Look at the heat alerts, though, all across the Midwest. All of these are heat alerts, a range all the way from the south up here to the upper Midwest. We do have an extreme heat warning that will go into effect at 9 a.m. tomorrow morning and goes until midnight. Now, that does include the metro. That's in the pink color here. Feels like temps tomorrow of 105 to 110. And then heat advisory in the salmon pink color here, 100 to 105. Same time frame with that tomorrow. Moral of the story, anything that you have planned, especially outside, you want to make sure you take those heat safety precautions. And if you don't have air conditioning, you're going to want to seek a place where you can get some relief from this heat. Right now, 79, current temp, not too bad today. We had the rain, we had the cloud cover in place, but the dew points are climbing. Dew points are into the upper 60s right now. So our dew points will continue to be pretty much in the 70s, and we call that swampy on the dew point tracker. Put the two together, here's what we have for tomorrow. In the dangerous category with your heat index up to 105 as we go into tomorrow. Now the air temp will get hot too. Forecast high coming in at 97 for the air temp. Again, heat index in the triple digits. And we have a thunderstorm chance tomorrow. Thunderstorms earlier today. They did clear out, and now we just have the cloud cover in place. We're not completely done for everyone. I'll show you our next future radar. Mainly north of 94. We could have some storms this evening. Tomorrow, the extreme heat settles in. We have another round of storms in the forecast for tomorrow, and then heat and humidity, along with storm chances. That's a theme. We don't get rid of it throughout this work week. Here, as you can see, radar picture for the most part clear, satellite-wise showing some of those clouds. Next, future radar. As we go throughout the evening, we're mainly focusing from 94 to the north. Some scattered showers and storms could be developing across this region as we head on into tonight. We do have a 1 out of 5 severe weather threat in place for these locations. An isolated severe storm here or there that could produce some large hail, so we'll watch that. It's not on the high end, though, thankfully, with the severe potential. Also, heavy downpours, I think, are something we'll have to be watching really with any of these storms throughout this week. Tonight, warm. Average low 64. We're only down to 74 here in the Twin Cities. 70s further off to the south. So warm tonight and hot tomorrow. This is your forecast air temp. This isn't even factoring in the humidity level. Tomorrow's forecast high coming in at 97. Highs in the 90s all the way up to Brainerd. 93 there. Western Wisconsin also into the 90s. Then as we go into tomorrow evening, we pull in that thunderstorm chance once again. Now notice our next future radar. We skip all the way till after the evening commute, and this is western Minnesota, like 7 p.m. or so is the timing for now, bringing in a line of storms across the western part of the state. We start to sweep them in toward the metro, getting closer to about 10 midnight, bringing a round of showers and storms that could roll on through later in the day tomorrow. But it's a 2 out of 5 severe weather threat. We'll watch that straight line wind threat with any of those storms, but notice the 2 out of 5 in place, so do you want to watch for that. The non-thunderstorm winds also noticeable tomorrow, getting into the 30-mile-per-hour range out of the south. And then, of course, we have the heat index. So for tomorrow, we're looking at 105 to 110 for the Twin Cities, but the heat indices in the 90s. Really as we go throughout the upper 90s tomorrow evening. But in the meantime, we're dealing with the heat. We're not alone in this. Looking across the Midwest, plenty of heat alerts in place from Chicago up to the metro area. Here in the metro, this pink color under an extreme heat warning that goes into effect at 9 a.m. tomorrow morning and goes until midnight. Feels like temps of 105 to 110. Areas in the salmon color looking at a heat advisory, 100 to 105. For that feels like temp. It's pretty warm out there now in the Twin Cities. Temp at 76, dew point at 68. And of course, that's a big part of it, almost off the charts with our dew point tracker tomorrow in the 70s. Feeling swampy. Put the two together, you get this, your heat index for tomorrow. Dangerous levels between 105 and 110. Going into Tuesday, we're still back to sweltering. Tomorrow's air temp will also be hot, topping out at 97 in the afternoon hours. We also throw in a storm chance. That starts to ramp up for the latter part of the day. We'll take you through that along with the details. Heat and humidity will continue throughout the week, and we continue with the storm chances too. So it is a straight up summer forecast all throughout this week and kind of heading into the weekend, which is the holiday. Right now, current radar picture, just a couple of spots. I do have lightning tracker turned on. We're not seeing any lightning with this, but a couple of very isolated spots of rain popping up. Notice to the north of I-94, we do have a chance of a couple of thunderstorms that could pop up overnight. Pretty isolated in nature. Most of us will stay dry, but of course have to mention that. The other thing, I'm sure you're going to have that air conditioning cranking even overnight. Look at our low, 74.10, above the average of 64 for this time of year. Highs in the 70s from the metro to the south, 60s further up to the north. And then tomorrow we really build in the heat. Normally we're at 82. Forecast high here in the Twin Cities, 97 degrees. 90s for your highs all the way up to Brainerd. Also, as we look out to Hinckley, 80s further up to the north. Heat index again into the triple digits. So heat safety precautions are a must coming up here tomorrow and probably for a few days going throughout the rest of the week. I will mention it will be windy or breezy. Wind gusts tomorrow out of the south in the 30-mile-per-hour range, so notice that for tomorrow. And then here's that storm chance. So our next future radar pops up a line of storms across the western part of the state. This is after the evening commute to the west, so metro looks fine if we hold with this timing. But we do pull in a line of storms 7-8 p.m. tomorrow to the west, swing it through the metro as we head into about this time, and then we kick it out of here pretty fast. The thing is, we do have the potential for severe weather with that 2 out of 5 severe weather threat, the slight risk in place here in the orange. So we'll keep a close eye on that coming up here for tomorrow evening. Now temperatures, highs in the 90s. It's a streak. Highs in the low 90s Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. And then another thing that compounds this heat, you don't get relief at night. Low temps are in the 70s. So when we see low temps that don't drop off, we continue to see accumulation of the effects of this heat going throughout this week. And the other thing you don't see on the 7-day forecast, I'll just tell you, your feels like temps will be more so into the upper 90s because our humidity, our dew points will be in those 70s. So it will stay humid along with this. Now those thunderstorm chances here, it's not going to be an all-day washout all these days. It's one of those weather patterns where you have the heat and humidity, and then at certain times you get some of those thunderstorms that pop up. But where they do pop up, they could reach those severe levels pretty fast. So it's that type. Up on our current radar picture, you can see this here, no lightning in place, but a couple of locations with our next future radar keeping those thunderstorm chances in place overnight, especially for those of you to the north of 94 across northern Minnesota. Notice how we pop up a couple of thunderstorms could be possible even for the overnight hours. It's also going to be warm tonight, 74. Your forecast low, 60s further up to the north. 74 is 10 degrees above that average of 64 for this time of year. And then as we head into tomorrow, this is where we bring in the heat. So tomorrow you're going to get up, you're going to feel the humidity immediately, and then temps are going to climb fast. High temp tomorrow, 97 in the metro. Looking at the mid-90s for locations across a good chunk of the state of Minnesota. This also includes low 90s for portions of western Wisconsin, and then further up to the north into some of those 80s there. Now notice winds 20-25 miles per hour sustained. We'll have some wind gusts that could be in the 30-mile-per-hour range, so a bit of a breeze, but honestly it's going to be like a hot air breeze coming at you, so it's probably not going to help too much. I would just make sure you take those heat safety precautions coming up here tomorrow. Again, excessive heat warning is in place, so that does mean you want to change up your plans. If you were going to be outside for a period of time, you want to move those plans indoors. Just make sure you stay safe. Check in on the elderly, your elderly neighbors, people that live alone, and of course take those pet safety precautions as well. No kids or pets in the car coming up here for tomorrow. Really, unfortunately, it's going to be a stretch throughout this week. Then we have this. Here's a storm chance. We get through the evening commute tomorrow, but then we fire up some of those showers and storms off to the west. We pull them through. The metro area tomorrow zeroes the afternoon off to the west, but going to the evening and nighttime hours, and then a 2 out of a 5 severe weather threat here across the metro area, especially watching for that straight line wind threat, but we could watch all modes of severe weather possible with those storms tomorrow evening. Now, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, all 90s in the forecast.
Dangerously hot temperatures.